Hello and welcome my friends to The Flying Kick. I am Savino as always, and today we will take a look at the new Double Dragon DLC for River City Girls 2 developed by Wayforward. The DLC was released a couple of weeks ago for consoles, and for reasons I know nothing about, the PC version was delayed until today. Now, with everybody being able to play the DLC, let's take a look to see if the brothers are a good addition to the game or if they should have stayed at their dojo teaching some moves. The first thing you should know about this DLC is that it tricks you, seriously. You start the game with a new intro for the bros in the same manga style from the original game, where they decided to abandon their peaceful life as dojo owners and do what everyone in River City does, beating the living hell out of everyone. While I think the new intro was pretty cool, it was a bit disappointed to see this was all they added to the story. All your encounters in the game, which always begin with a small exchange between the characters, are the same as in the original story. While this is in no way a problem, after all we're talking about a surprise DLC for a 2-year-old game, some of the exchanges will sound a little bit forced, with answers that really don't make much sense if you consider everything you know about the brothers and their adventures. I mean, most of the encounters are good and funny, but I believe that at least for the characters from Double Dragon universe, they should have added some new lines. I usually don't complain about the story in these games, but here, since the story is somewhat essential, I think they should have gone this extra mile. The brothers were dubbed by the guys from Game Grumps, and they did a good job dubbing the leads. Some lines are pretty funny, especially Billy with his peaceful new age attitude. Jimmy here is exactly the opposite, filled with rage and anger all the time, which can lead to some funny moments too. It's a bit silly and juvenile, but it can get a couple of laughs out of you. While personally I don't believe these are the personalities Kishimoto's son imagining for his character, it works well here. I mean, this is basically the classic bad cop, good cop dynamic, and while this is as old as the 80s, it bodes well with them. Visually, I like the style. I mean, the brothers are basically palette swaps, which is a nice homage to the original, but they added enough details to make them look unique. Another cool thing they added here, if you're into that, is some pretty awesome new skins for the bros. I mean, I wouldn't change their original colors because I consider it to be sacred by this point, but that's up to you. Animation-wise, this is River City Girls, so you know what's in store for you here. Wayforward did an excellent job in both river cities, so it wouldn't be different with the brothers. Although I wouldn't mind if they had different walk cycles. I mean, they are twins, not clones. When it comes to gameplay and combat, well, this is River City Girls 2, so you basically know what's going on here. If you don't, there's a review here for you to check, but to make things simple. This is an open world beaten up with RPG elements where you have to walk around a huge city, beating everyone in sight, completing the main quest and some side quests, and buying new moves as you earn money for beating quests and people. Now, of course, what really matters here is how the brothers play, and well, they are indeed River City Girls characters, with lots of fair combat, exaggerated moves, and a weird attitude towards everyone. As you can expect, the brothers start slow and heavy here. I mean, this is basically how every character starts, but the bros feel especially sluggish. They will get faster as you upgrade them, especially with the special food you can get in-game, but even so, it seems they weren't meant to be the faster characters here, and I'm okay with that. Their fighting style isn't that different, to be honest, when compared to each other. They have a few different moves, but their basic moves are virtually the same. I felt that Jimmy was easier to start with thanks to his fireball, as we'll see ahead, but Billy felt easier to combo the enemies after you start getting better moves. So, about that fireball. They are the first zoners, so to speak, in the game, and as long as you have that special green juice, you can keep your enemies at a distance using their fireballs. Jimmy has a more traditional Broduken, yeah, that's what's called. While Billy throws his in a diagonal line, but capable of hitting enemies 2 times if they are too close. These Brodukens can also be used on air, and they are pretty great for clearing some space before you land. Being able to throw projectiles is the biggest difference they have when compared to the original characters, and if you like this type of gameplay style, they will be a perfect fit for you. These Brodukens are unleashed with a press of a button, so you don't need to worry about special commands. And they are pretty handy. You can keep your enemies away with them or use them to juggle enemies, increasing your combo counters. There's a lot you can do here. There are also a ton of traditional moves here that were taken from past Double Dragons, most of them highly upgraded to better fit the overall style of the game, and if you're a fan of the brothers, it will be a delight for you to see some of these moves here. All these moves have the already traditional River City Girl style where you can chain them together, creating powerful combos, bouncing enemies on the walls or passing them to other players in a juggling fest rarely seen in games. One thing I think is worth noticing is that both brothers are a bit overpowered when compared to the previous character. Despite starting slow, the brothers will gain momentum as they gain experience and soon become a force to be reckoned with. Their moves are very strong and beating enemies can be pretty easy with a single combo. While I personally don't enjoy characters that are too powerful here, I think it's pretty fun to go over the enemies like a bulldozer and it works. I mean, they both are adults in their 20s as they insist on reminding us beating teens that are in high school, so yeah, let's not go in this direction here. Overall, I think the brothers are a great addition to this universe. I mean, I know I was begging for them since the first game and I'm glad the Wayforward finally did it. If you are a fan of them as I am, there's not too much reason to let this DLC pass. I know River City Girls isn't for everyone, but even after these years, I still think it's a very fun and solid game. But I still hate how gimmick the bosses are though. And that's it for this quick review. I hope you guys enjoyed it and don't forget to tell me down below if you will be getting this one. I will be back pretty soon talking about a new Mega Drive game, but while it doesn't happen, I hope you all have an awesome day and remember, keep it up.
You may think it's true.